Welcome back to Live from Paris. It's time now for business, and I'm joined by Matthew Warren. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Claire.
Now, a group of French business people are protesting against new tax plans.
That's right, Claire. Some entrepreneurs are unhappy about tax proposals in the last French budget, which was revealed on Friday. Now, they've called themselves les pigeons, which translates, of course, as the pigeons, but more colloquially as the fall guys. And they want to reverse proposals that they say will stifle new business creation in France.
They're the cream of France's crop of internet entrepreneurs. Starting with a simple idea, they made a fortune by selling off their companies for a pretty penny. But these business owners are angry over the government's new fiscal bill. They're calling themselves the pigeons, French slang for the fall guys or suckers. They've taken to social networking sites to voice their opposition and have attracted thousands of followers. Les Pigeons say France's entrepreneurship is in danger because of President François Hollande's plan to tax capital gains at the same rate as income. They say tax would in some cases increase from 34.5% to 60.5%.
This tax system is anti-entrepreneurial. What you have to understand is that lots of entrepreneurs, myself included, don't make money via a wage. I, for instance, don't have a salary. They make money from the capital gains they make when they sell their business. So if you tax them more than 60%, I fear many people are going to stop being entrepreneurs.
In an online manifesto, Les Pigeons said the measure amounted to the breaking of dreams and a quasi-sadistic demotivation. This startup creator says it's likely to drive away investors and create a brain drain.
Many young French people who have potential, who have good ideas and good projects, are wondering today whether they should start their company abroad. And many do just that.
The Pigeons have called for a demonstration in front of Parliament on Sunday. They're hoping to put pressure on MPs before the fiscal bill is examined.
Well, earlier I spoke to one of those protesting, Jean-David Chamboredon. Now, he explained that he thinks a difference should be made between capital gains made on normal stocks and shares and those made on investing in new startups.
Everybody knew that income tax and tax on capital gain would be somehow aligned in France. That was clearly in the program of Mr. Hollande. But we were all certain that a big difference will be made between, pure stock trading or stuff like that, and investing new cash into startups. And at the end of the preparation of the budget, we discovered that there were absolutely no difference made between these two kinds of investment that are by nature very different.
Now, in the States, they're, of course, preparing for that first presidential debate, and the focus tonight will be on the economy.
Yes, and particularly jobs, jobs, jobs. I mean, the unemployment rate was about 8% when Barack Obama came to power. It's back there again after going up and down again, and that gives Mitt Romney, he thinks, some ammunition to criticize the president. But, well, whoever wins, they face a lot of issues. The deficit is up at $1.3 trillion, so we'll be keeping a close eye on how that debate goes this evening.
Now, the markets are still particularly concerned about the fate of Spain.
Yes, now we never stop talking about Spain, do we? But it's having a real impact on markets. Everyone's expecting Spain to request a bailout at some point. It's just a matter of when. But the Spanish Prime Minister yesterday was saying no, he doesn't see one coming anytime soon. Now look at European markets, how they are opening, all down in negative territory as a result of that. I could tell you as well how things wrapped up in Asia. They were mostly, well, two markets were closed in China and South Korea. The Nikkei fell almost 0.5% and the Hang Seng pretty flat there.
All right, now we were just talking about Spain. Its neighbour, of course, Portugal, has already asked for a bailout.
That's right. It was a €78 billion bailout that they got last year, and this is what Spain fears because the bailout comes with strings attached, and one of those strings is an end to rent controls that could see some people forced out of their apartments.
Teresa Dourado has lived in this central Lisbon flat since 1966. The 77-year-old widow pays a controlled rent of €100 a month. But her peaceful retirement is about to be shattered. The government plans to scrap the country's long-standing rent controls as part of radical economic reforms. In Portugal, 73% of people are homeowners, 19% tenants. 13% among them, or nearly 400,000 people, pay an average of €55 a month. It's a unique situation in Europe. Contracts signed before 1991 guarantee tenancy indefinitely. Landlords say it leads to a distortion of the market.
In this building, there's a woman who pays me €190 a month for 160 square meters. She signed her contract in 1962. I recently rented a similar apartment for €1,600 a month.
With rent so low, many landlords have a hard time financing renovation. In Lisbon, 1 out of every 5 buildings is abandoned or falling apart. To boost the housing market, the government wants to increase rent, make it easier to kick out bad tenants and do away with rent control.
They're not getting me out of here. If I have to go, I'll go through the window, not the door.
Critics say the anticipated rent hikes could price thousands of people like Teresa out of their homes.
Well, now let's get some of the day's company news. And Britain's biggest retailer, Tesco, posted a rise in sales. The company said they were up 1.4% in the summer months to €45 billion. Profits were dented by a €1.25 billion investment programme to improve customer service and stores.
Air Canada plans to launch a low-cost carrier with flights to Europe and the Caribbean. The new unit will start flying in June. The company will fold its holiday business, Air Canada Vacations, into the new venture. Shares were up almost 5% on the news.
And staying with aviation, safety concerns at American Airlines. Loose seats have been discovered on 3 of the company's jets while airborne. The latest problem occurred on a flight last week between Colorado and Dallas. AA said it's inspecting 8 of its Boeing 757s after the incident.
Now, you mentioned a demonstration planned by pigeons earlier, and there's another one planned here in Paris today by workers at France's second biggest company.
Yes, that's right, Claire. This is Sanofi, the pharmaceutical company, second biggest after the oil group Total by market value. Now, they are protesting over job cuts, which unions say could run to 2,500. Now, the government's been putting a lot of pressure on Sanofi. They've had such bad news on job cuts from Peugeot Citroën, of course, and others, that the company is saying it should be more like 900, and they hope to achieve those through early retirement and voluntary redundancies as well.
Okay, now I'm particularly curious about this one because something we talk about a lot here on the Matinale since we get up so early is sleep.
Yes, absolutely. Sleep is, we're always very interested in how to sleep, how to get more sleep. Well, in the Chilean capital, Santiago, a business thinks it's come up with a good idea to help other people who are struggling with sleep issues. And they've opened a hotel where stressed out and tired executives can go and take a little nap after their lunch, perhaps, or whenever they want to, I suppose, during the day. Aromatherapies and massages are also on offer. Let's take a listen to one satisfied customer.
Afterwards, you have a lot of energy, so it's really productive deep down, because you can keep working hard. I rest, and it isn't like one of those days that hits you from 9 in the morning until 6 at night, all in a row. Sometimes people eat in the office and never go out. It's great to get out and take a break.
Taking a break, getting a massage, sounds pretty good to me.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned to France 24. Stuart Norval will have all the latest headlines in the last half hour of Live from Paris. Stay tuned.